Let's get down to brass tacks. Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We're here today to talk about a very interesting topic for me personally, and also to give some examples, a lot of fun examples, which I can't wait to do that. But I want to start off. Tonight's topic is basically centered around horror remakes, the reboots, and also sequels. And I just wanted to throw this out there for folks, and you can let me know what you think, throw a comment out, or what have you. But when I was younger, excuse me, when I was younger, I used to have this sense of, when I'd hear about a remake, it was like, oh no, what? Please don't do that. Don't remake this or don't remake that or what have you. And obviously, within the last several years, 15 years or what have you, we've had the whole idea of reboots or reimaginings and so forth. And of course, we've had endless sequels forever. And, it's funny because I used to have a lot of not negative feelings towards it, but I would just be very kind of down on it, and kind of just like, oh man, why they got to do this? Why do they do this? And it's interesting because the last couple of weeks, we've spent time talking about various movies and especially legacy films and legacy sequels and what have you, such as Candyman 2021. And it got me thinking a lot about not only my place as a horror fan, but obviously those that have been horror fans long before I was, and also for those that are beginning their horror journey. For myself, I've been on this horror journey for, for decades. So I think what I'm trying to say, and you guys let me know what you think, is that my whole idea, my whole concept of remakes and reboots and sequels in general has really changed, and it's shifted. I think to myself, I had this conversation with someone, and we were talking about some legacy franchises, whether it's Scream or whether it's, gosh, you could think of a thousand of them. Final Destination, we're going to have a new Final Destination movie coming out, which, by the way, the trailer looks bonkers. I'm so excited for. And, I was talking, and they were like, oh man, let's just stop it. Let's stop it. All these sequels, the same thing, the same thing. And there's validity to that. There are some sequels or reboots or what have you that are mining the same field, so to speak, some of the same ideas, maybe just updated. And I do think for some of those projects, it could be considered as lazy, where, you could do a lot more. But then the other part of me says, well, there's a lot of people that haven't seen all of those, let's say, Final Destination movies, or there are a lot of those people that didn't grow up with Wes Craven's Scream like I did. And so for those people, this is a brand new thing. It's fresh to them, in other words. And so their perspective of it, I would assume, and you guys let me know, I would assume their perspective of it is totally different than mine, who's been around with it for years, for decades, and so forth. So I just wanted to get a sense of what other people thought, because I think that remakes and reboots and sequels and so forth can be a great thing. And again, piggybacking to what we were saying about Candyman in our previous stream, some folks, and of course it's very divisive in general, but some folks, including myself, we wanted to see our hero, our favorite actor, Tony Todd, and rest in peace to Tony Todd. And, slice and dice, baby, let's do it again. But then the other part of me says, well, we already did that 3 times, and there's no disrespect to someone at the level of a Tony Todd, but we had 3 Candyman films where he did that. And 2 of those films kind of went down the wrong path, so to speak. Even with a great horror icon such as him, it went down the wrong path. So you have this new movie that did something way different, or I should say, built upon the structure that was already there. And it was tough to swallow that for myself personally. But now looking at it, as I said in our stream, now looking at it, it's kind of like, okay, I kind of see what they were doing, and that's interesting. So, anyways, I wanted to express that, because I think for a lot of people in the horror community, myself included, I'm using myself as an example. There are times when we kind of get stuck, for better or for worse. I mean, granted, there are times when some sequels just need to, you just need to stop. Give me something fresh. And it's tough because, right, with a sequel, you have to honor the source material or what's come before. You have to honor that. But at the same time, you have to go into a new direction. You have to do something that is a little different, or something that's fresh, or something that adds to that overall story. So I never, I always try to give credit, because I know that that's such a slippery slope. You have to cater to multiple audiences. You have to cater to old school fans, and you have to cater to new school fans, and so forth. And you're never going to make everyone happy. So it's it's really an exercise in futility. But anyways, you guys, let me know what you think about that. Again, there's a lot of films out there, some fantastic examples of remakes and reboots and sequels that I'm so glad that we got, like a Saw X. I'm glad we got that. You know, if you had asked me 10 years ago that we'd get a sequel that is in between the events of the first film and the second film, I'd say you're crazy. And I'd also say I don't know if I'd want that, right? But we got it. And for myself, anyways, personally, I absolutely enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing Tobin Bell front and center again. And I was really hoping to see what would happen with Saw 11, but it looks like that's not going to happen, or at least anytime soon, which is very sad. But, that's a good example of a sequel that was long overdue. It was long overdue to have a film totally centered on Jigsaw, on John Kramer, but we got it, and I was so happy that we did. You look at something like The Fly, I mean, that's a great remake. I mean, and it's 30 years after the original. I mean, I'm sure there were people like in my dad's generation is like, what are they doing? This was our movie. And so now you get this new movie that's totally different. I mean, David Cronenberg went there, right? He went there and did some crazy ass shit. And I'm glad he did. It was great, So just some different examples of, long overdue sequels or remakes or reboots that do work. And I think that for myself, anyways, I've opened my mind a bit more, and I think I had a fairly open mind before, but I've opened it a lot more and wanted to share that with you guys, and also see what you guys think of it as well. For everyone that is here tonight, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. We got King Matthew in the house. What's up, Night Watch? I'm new to the channel. I found your channel through Craven, Something Scary. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. Obviously, Craven, my brother Steven, very, very good friend. We just partied on his channel. So shout out again to Steven for hitting over 13K for subscribers. But Matthew, thank you for being here. We appreciate it and hope you enjoy the conversation tonight. We're going to have some fun, guys. We're going to have you involved. I've got a special guest. I think you know who that may be, and we're going to party. Charlie, what's up? Paula, what's up? We got the general in the house. What's up, Val? We got Scott. Good to see you, Scott. Blanket hello for everyone here. RJ in the house. What's up, saying I'm proud to be a member of the Night Watch Zone. Heck yeah, man. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. Oliver is in the house. What's shaking? It's all shaking, buddy. What's up? All right. Ben's in the house. What's up, Ben? We got Mary. What's up, Mary? Good to see you. Saying I'm worried. I live in Oklahoma, worried about tornadoes. Ooh, well, please be safe. Please be safe and let us know how you're doing, Mary. Seriously, prayers and love to you. But thank you for being here tonight, and I hope that this at least brings you some happiness. Oliver saying, I don't like the idea of remakes with horror movies. All other movies, yes. Horror, not really. Well, again, Oliver, I would say that, you know, John Carpenter's The Thing, one of my favorite movies ever. It's a remake. The Fly, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 78. And legacy sequels that sometimes kind of get roped in with remakes, like Evil Dead 2013. Fantastic. Those are movies that I absolutely love. And there's some that aren't very good. There are a lot that are not good. But let us know. Val saying I agree on horror remakes, only a handful of good ones. It's true. There and I don't know what I would say the percentage of them are. I mean, I probably would say it's maybe under 50% that they're really good versus that they were unnecessary. So that's fair. But some of those ones that were really good, I'm so glad they exist, guys. I'm so glad that I've got John Carpenter's The Thing. When I was a little kid, 8 years old or whatever, I'm so glad I got to see that on a Saturday afternoon, not really knowing the history of the film beforehand. So, what's up, Gene? We got Pierre. What's up? And I'm gonna get to the super chats for sure. Don't worry, guys. Those always go to the front of the line, and we'll have a conversation about them. We got Eric in the house. What is up? And the Fly 2 definitely deserves more love, man. Ginger Ninja in the house. Very cool to have you guys here. Seriously. Okay, so let's get into our conversation proper. And I'm going to bring on a special guest, and we've had a lot of fun doing streams together and talking together. I think it's been a blast. So let's bring her on. You guys know her. You guys love her. It's our good friend, Rachel. Hey.
What's up, Night Watch Zone? Looking forward to this one. I love talking sequels, reboots, remakes, all of that. There are some
Yeah,
very good ones and some very bad ones. So it should be interesting to see.
it's true. It's true. I mean, real quick, and then I'm sorry I had you backstage while I was ranting. You know how I can get. But what do you have a quick take on what you think of remakes or reboots and sequels in general for horror?
Yeah, so it's actually really interesting because when I first started getting into horror, it was the early to mid 2000s. So a lot of horror movies that I first saw were actually remakes and reboots. So like the
Mm-hmm.
American version of The Ring, the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Freddy versus Jason, The Rage Carry 2. So I have a little bit of an affinity for remakes and for sequels. I mean, obviously, sometimes it gets out of hand. We've talked
Yeah.
about some of the even the franchises that we love. Halloween, Nightmare, Friday the 13th for you. They have some extreme highs and some extreme lows. And so
Right.
sometimes you can get into that conversation of how many sequels is too many. As for remakes, I think there's a place for them. I don't think everything needs to be remade. I think some things can be left alone. But then sometimes you have remakes that really end up surprising you. You don't think that you're going to like them. And then you watch them and you think, oh, that was all right. Like I remember watching the Friday the 13th remake for the first time a few years ago and actually going, oh, this is okay. This is not as bad
Mm-hmm.
as I thought it was going to be. So I think they really can be a mixed bag, but I do think that they are something that a lot of fans do feel very strongly about,
Yeah.
and possibly even stronger than they feel about the original films. And I think that's because when you come to the original films, you usually will have a general consensus. Most people agree that the first Nightmare, the first Scream, the first Halloween, they're all really solid movies. It's when you get
Mm-hmm.
into the sequels that, I mean, we've seen that, with the fights of, Scream 6 and Scream 3 and, Halloween
Right.
4 versus Halloween 6, things like that. And so I do think it's a very interesting topic and it'll be very fun to see where the conversation goes tonight.
Yes, absolutely, and well said. I mean, it is a very interesting conversation, and it's here to stay.
Yes,
Remakes and reboots, and especially sequels, are not going away anytime soon. And that's just the way that it is, guys. It really is. So, real quick, let me just get to you guys in the chat, and then we're going to get going on our list proper. And first of all, let's give a shout out to Rachel herself. 16 months? Absolutely
I can't believe
cool.
it's been that long. Feels like
You
it was
know,
just yesterday.
well, that's kind of true. When we were talking the other night, especially on Steven's stream, and it
Mm,
was such a fun time and just celebrating our brother, which was awesome.
yeah.
And time does really fly. Sometimes it seems like it goes slow, and then other
Mm,
times it just boom, it just goes by so fast. And like I've said this before. You know, I'm just so happy that our paths crossed, and that you're a cool person, and that you've become such a big part of this community. I really do mean that. I think that this community would not be what it is without folks like yourself, and obviously these folks that come to our live streams all the time. I think sometimes people don't understand it as much as a content creator, because we see the behind the scenes, we see the other side of it. But seriously, I just want to say thank you so much for all your support and just being a big part of what we do here. It's awesome. It really is.
thank you. Cheers.
Yeah.
It's been a
Yeah.
great time, and hopefully will continue to be.
That's right. That's the aim. That's the
Yes.
aim. Okay. All right. Real quick too, in the chat, we got Oliver coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Oliver, saying the greatest sequel of all time, Saw X, remakes with horror movies. No, everything else, yes. Well, hey, I tell you what, Oliver, I think that myself, I've really come around on the idea a lot more. And I think it's because, and just to say also, for transparency, this came from a conversation that I had just the other day. And I was thinking, I know that I always have that vibe of like, no, no, don't remake this, don't remake that. And then I thought about the films that I love, and about some of the ones that were pretty good. And of course about some of them that aren't good. But in general, I was like, you know what? Maybe it isn't such a bad thing. Because also, here's the other part about it, guys. For us that have been around for a long time, that's all fine and dandy. But we want horror to continue to be popular. So we got to get the young kids involved. You know what I'm saying? So when they see that remake of a certain film, or that legacy sequel that we might be a little too tired of, well, guess what? It hopefully encourages them to watch those original films. These kids that are going to go out and see Scream 7, that's really cool, because hopefully it's going to introduce them to the legacy of Wes Craven. See what I'm saying? And
Mm,
that's how these things stay alive. So that's the other part of it too. But Oliver, thank you so much for the soup chat. We really appreciate it, man. It helps us so much. And let's do a quick clip. And Rachel, sometimes when all else fails, you just got to express yourself. And it might sound like this.
Fuck this cowboy shit! Expel them! Fucking hold dunk, po dunk, well then there, motherfuckers!
But it's bull, Rashid.
There we go.
Billy Billy Zane is so awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Uh, Jerry in the house. What's up, Jerry? Good to see you, man. Gifting a membership. Thank you. Jeez, thank you so much, Jerry. We appreciate that. And for whoever did get that gifted membership, please show some love to Jerry. We appreciate that, helping to build this community, make it stronger. Trust me, guys, it doesn't go unappreciated, and it's definitely needed to keep us going. Thank you so much, man. And Rachel, Rachel's gifted memberships too. Thank, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're
Good.
all right. You're all right. Thank you. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. We are going to come up with a list of remakes, reboots, and sequels. Rachel and I. And this is what we're going to do. And Val, if you can help us out, that would be great. I'm going to put in a link for you guys in the chat. We can't take everyone's suggestion, but we do want to take maybe a couple to add to this list. So let me just put in a link, and this is for one of our chat features on our Patreon. And this is really cool because it kind of allows me to be able to um, kind of siphon through all the different things a little bit easier. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. And you guys, if you would like, you can give us some of your suggestions and we'll add that to the list. We'll add some of them to the list. So I'm going to put it in the chat and have you guys, if you have a favorite reboot, a remake, or even a horror sequel. So that's a very wide margin that you'd like to have on this list, then let us know. Okay. And we've got the link in the chat. You can throw it in there and I'll get a couple of suggestions in a little bit. So, Rachel, let's start this off. I'm going to bring up our little list where we can keep track. Give me, and I know I put you on the spot too. And that was kind of the purpose so that we could kind of just be off the cuff, off the cuff. But give me an idea or an example, I should say, of a horror remake, a reboot, or a sequel that you'd want to see on this list. It could be a favorite one of yours. It could be the first one that comes to your mind. It could be one that you watch a lot or what have you.
With what I think is one of the best horror remakes of all time, and one of the earliest horror films I ever saw, and that is The Ring, the American Ring from
Ooh.
2001, I think, because I've seen both. I've seen the Japanese one, I've seen the American one. I think they're both good, but there is something about the American one that I just think is so incredibly well done, and I still to this day get so creeped out by this film. So that's my first pick.
Okay, all right. So we've got The Ring. That's a great one. And you guys in the chat, and I know you guys will also, if you're not able to go to that link or what have you, if you're on your phone or if you're driving or whatever, you may not be able to do that. We can't get everyone suggested. If you throw in a super chat, we'll make sure we put it on the list because it'll light up on StreamYard and I can see it. So just to throw that out there, I know we're gonna have a whole bunch of people throwing stuff out. Okay, so my next example of a sequel that really comes to my mind, and this is a great example of how at the time it probably was thought, oh gosh, here we go, what do we need this for? And I'm just so glad that it was greenlit because it's a sequel that's very near and dear to my heart. You guys have probably already guessed maybe what this might be, but it's one of my favorite sequels, and that is Halloween 4. The Return of Michael Myers. That's what we're going with. I love Halloween 4, and I'm so glad that it was greenlit. And to be quite honest, it might be one of the most important films after the original. If Halloween 4 failed, we may not be talking about Michael Audrey Myers today. Because remember, Halloween 3 tanked and everybody hated it. Well, most people hated it, including myself as a kid. I absolutely hated it. But they said, you know what? We got Elm Street and we got the camp in New Jersey that are pumping out these sequels. We've got a boogeyman as well, the boogeyman himself. And they came back with Halloween 4. So that's going to be my suggestion. Okay, Rachel, what's your next suggestion you want on this list?
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. No, April Fools. April Fools. It's,
Wow.
it's April 1st. I had to do it.
Wow.
No.
As soon as
We
you
are not-
said that, look, man, I was just about to say, what the hell? Don't you know where you're at? No, I'm just
I
joking. I'm
know.
just
I was
joking.
like, yeah, let's put Hobo Myers on this list. Night will love that. No, we're not going anywhere near Halloween 2 for this list. No, my next one I'm going to throw up is this is a horror movie that I actually think is severely underrated, and I actually think it's underrated because it's marketed as a sequel and written slightly as a sequel, but I actually see it as kind of a loose reboot/remake, and that
Okay.
is The Rage Carrie 2, which I think is
Wow.
actually a really fun movie. And I
Wow.
love this movie. I don't love that it was shoehorned into being a direct Carrie sequel. Like, I think that angle didn't work so well. But if you remove that and look at it as more of like a modern day telling of Carrie, I think it works really, really well. So, and
Okay.
I always love to give underrated movies or movies that I don't think get enough love a little bit of a shout out. So that's going to be
Okay.
my next pick. Love that
All
one.
right. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. And real quick too, and I'm going to get to you guys in a second, so don't worry. Hold on tight. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on and a lot of interaction. We got Val who went into the link through our Patreon chat, so it's really easy to actually let me like this Val because she came up with, and I knew she probably would. So I'm actually chatting with her right now. She came up with another great film that, again, it could have easily been like, well, let's not do this. We've already had several. But look, let's just be honest, man. Halloween 2018, Val comes in with her idea, and I'm
Mhm.
so glad. I'm so glad it was greenlit, and it allowed us to again continue this mythology of Michael Myers and have um, some great moments in the franchise. And James Drew Courtney, my God, jeez, I'm just
So
so
good.
glad it happened, and I'm even more
Mhm.
glad that I got to interview him. So
I know, and that interview is so good. Like, people go and watch it. It is fantastic. I showed it
thank
to
you.
my husband, and I was like, "This is the guy who played Michael, and that's Knight talking to him. So cool."
Thank you. I appreciate that. I still sometimes can't even believe that we got a chance to do that. And he was so kind. What you guys didn't see, hell, I should make a video on it. What you guys didn't see was beforehand in the backstage before we went live. And of course, we were all geeking out. Coriander was getting emotional. I think Kill was as well. And we just said to him, man, we just said, thank you so much for everything you did for this franchise and to continue to continue this story. So again, it's a legacy sequel, and sometimes they can be great. So great example. Okay. So we've got Halloween 2018. So here's my next one that I want to throw on there. And again, I think I might have even touched upon it earlier. I think that sometimes there are movies that are just special. And this is a great example of it for me in a franchise that, as much as I enjoy the franchise, and it's a legacy franchise, I think it has had some ups and downs, more ups than downs, but there were times when I was kind of off, not on board with certain entries. But this one I was. And I'm talking about Evil Dead 2013, which was amazing. Fede Alvarez, who is such a great director, was somehow able to tap into what made those original Evil Dead movies from Sam Raimi so good. So that's my that's my entry that I think was just very, very good. Okay, let's see what we got going on in the chat just to catch up to you guys. We've got Oliver coming in. Now, Oliver, we can only put one of these in. He's got three.
Got
Oliver.
going.
Wow. Oliver, he says Saw X, Jason X, Scream 2. Okay, Oliver, we can only do one, man. So let me know which one, because otherwise we'd have 50 on this
Could
list.
be forever. Yes.
We will. We will. So thank you so much for the super chat, and let me know which one of those three you'd like to put on the list, man. Thank you so much. We got Jeff coming in, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Jeff. We really appreciate that. That helps us out so much, and again, just keeps the lights on, brother. Saying I would like a remake, Friday 13th Part 5, this time with the real Jason. Well, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. And Friday 5 is a good example too. I used to really have an issue with that as a kid, and I've grown to enjoy it over the years. I really have. But a remake of it, that would be interesting. I don't know if they would do it, but that would be very interesting. Thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate that. That was a good one. That really stopped me in my tracks. And we got Troy coming in, a $5 super chat, saying the Wrong Turn reboot, surprisingly good entry from such a terrible franchise. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not seen the Wrong Turn reboot because, like you alluded to, Troy, the franchise just kind of went off into a weird thing, man.
Did
The the first movie, and we've talked about it actually on Slasher Movie Club. We also did a watch party for it as well, which was a lot of fun. If you guys were around, if you weren't, you should check it out. Wrong Turn, the first Wrong Turn I thought was pretty solid, and the second one was zany, but I had some fun with it. But after that, I was like, no, I'm not on board anymore. Thank you, thank you so much,
agree.
Troy. What was that, Rachel?
No, I agree. The Wrong Turn franchise went completely off the rails. I watched it with Keith over on his channel, and he made me watch the entire series. It is one of the only franchises where I actually couldn't get through two of the movies because they were
Wow.
so bad, and it was just it just some of the deaths in the later movies are so ridiculous. It's
Really?
just insane. Oh yeah. And yeah, there were 2 that I just couldn't finish. I was like, "I can't do this. I'm so if I'm not bored, then I'm just going, oh." So it was, like, not good.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Well, hey, that kind of solidifies my thought on it. Okay. That's crazy. All right. So now real quick in the chat, I also put in the link. If you guys want to throw in your suggestions, you can do it through the link through our Patreon. And obviously, if you send in a super chat, we'll make sure that we put it on the list as well. Val, this is so cool. So I was so starstruck during the James Jude Courtney interview. He brought the OG shape back to life. It's so
Yes,
true,
he did. He
right?
really did.
So that's what
Mhm.
I'm saying, guys. Like the whole idea of these legacy sequels that are years and years after a previous one, or reboots or reimaginings or whatever, they do bear some amazing fruit for us as
Mm.
horror fans. Because again, I'm sure there were a lot of people, and I even had some friends who are like, "Oh my God, they're doing another Halloween movie. How many is this now?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it. we're,
'Cause no one cares.
we're gonna keep doing it." But
Yeah.
I mean, look at what we got. I
Mhm.
mean, and some people obviously had issues with the trilogy. That's fine. We've talked about that ad nauseum. We'll continue to talk about it, I'm sure.
Yes, we will.
Um, but there was some great stuff. There was some great stuff in there. And James Jude Courtney, I think if one thing we can all agree on is James Jude Courtney was amazing as Michael Myers. And we got
Mhm.
that because that
100%.
that trilogy was greenlit. So, all right. Um, great comment, Val. So Oliver said he's going to do Saw X out of that group. Okay, so we've got Saw X. Okay, Rachel, what's another entry that you'd like to put on this list?
The one that popped into my head is from a more recent franchise, or at least from the 2010s. And this was a sequel that, when it came out, pretty much everyone said it was pretty much as good as the original, if not better. I personally
Ooh.
prefer the original, but the sequel is so strong and so solid. And that is The Conjuring 2, which I think was just
Ooh.
so, so good.
Ooh. Wow, that's a good one. All right. Conjuring 2. Very cool, very cool. And I'm a big fan of the Conjuring franchise.
Me
I
too.
think that
Hmm.
there's been a lot of great stuff that they've done. The cast is fantastic. I
Oh, yeah.
absolutely love Vera and Patrick together.
Hmm.
I I think that it's such a win, because they're so good together. Their chemistry.
Hmm.
You really believe that they're married. It's
Oh, you
awesome.
do, absolutely, and they're
Yeah.
really the heart of that franchise, like,
Yes.
it just would not be the same without them, and I think in The Conjuring 2, you really see that relationship grow from what we saw established in the first one, and I've talked about this before, but I really love how there's this theme of, like, when they come to save the family, it's not just they're more saving them emotionally than they are from the ghost, like, the ghost is just kind of, the problem, but then they come in and they actually help heal the families, and I think you really see that in The Conjuring 2,
Yeah.
especially with the little girl who's, experiencing everything, and yeah, it's just a really beautiful thing to see, and I think that, they work it really well, and like you said, fantastic chemistry, so
Yeah.
yeah,
No
great
doubt.
pairing.
No doubt at all. Okay, and real quick too in the chat, we've got Drake coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying the conversation. And Drake is saying, on a funny note, hold on, let me just pull this up here. On a funny note, if another sequel to Child's Play was made, had the original Chucky do a Deadpool and kill the Chucky from the 2019
Oh,
Child's
I love
Play.
it.
That,
You know, the TV show could end up doing something like that because the TV show
yeah,
is doing all sorts of crazy things. So we'll have to keep an eye out.
that actually would be hilarious if they
That would be
did that.
brilliant.
Oh my God. That would be so funny. Who knows, man? They might even try to do that one day. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. And also for the awesome idea. That would be great. And hey, we got Paula who's coming in with a $2 super chat. All right. That's what I'm talking about. And you guys, she's got 3. Paula, give us just one of these for the list. She's got Scream 2, Freddy's Revenge, and the reboot Scream 5. Ooh, Scream 5. That's an interesting one. Paula, let us know which one of the 3 with a super chat. You can only give us one that you'd like to put on the list. And thank you so much. Gosh. And Jeff coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Jeff, saying it's been a while since they did a remake, but they could do a reboot of Psycho. Yeah, they could if they do it right. Don't that one with Vince
So
Vaughn,
what happened in
bro.
the 90s with the yeah, exactly. Vince
Bro,
Vaughn? Really? Of anyone you could have chosen to play Norman Bates, you
I
go with
know.
Vince Vaughn.
Well, let me just say this. My biggest issue wasn't Vince, because I love Vince. And I've actually kind of erased that Psycho remake out of my mind. So
Understandable.
this is a good
Understandable.
this is a good example of when it's not a good idea, because they literally did it shot for shot, and it's like, you know, I guess maybe I understand artistically speaking what they were trying to achieve, but it just fell flat, man. I don't know. Maybe it was a combination of that and the cast just didn't maybe fit the formula the right way. I might have to do a rewatch of it because I haven't watched it in years, and I was so upset by it. Maybe I gotta,
Understandably.
yeah, and maybe I gotta check it out and reevaluate and kind of go from there. I'm actually thinking seriously about that, but um, doing a remake of it, hey, like I just said, I'll be open to it, or a reboot. I'll be open to it, but they definitely have to they have to put in the work.
Yes.
There's a lot
Yeah.
that they would have to do. But Jeff, thank you so much for that super chat. We appreciate that so much, brother. Seriously. And we got, hey, JT is in the house. What's up, man?
He stole my
Wow.
next one. That was
Th-
gonna be my next pick. JT got in too quickly.
Wow. All right. He says TCM 2003. Enough said. Absolutely. Look, I could keep talking on and on about that. I did do a Why You Hate episode of TCM 03, so check that out if you haven't.
That one was a good one.
Thank
'Cause
you. I appreciate
have
that.
I have a soft spot for this one because I saw this before I saw the original, and
Hmm.
after I watched the original, I was like, "No, no, that's obviously, like, amazing," but I think there's a lot of merit to the 2003 one. I think they
Yeah.
change enough. I particularly love the bookends of the opening and the ending, and if you've seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
I thought the Jessica Biel was decent. I like Eric Balfour, and I
Yep.
actually thought it was okay. So I know a lot of people hate on it because the original is so iconic, and I
Right.
understand that, but I have a real soft spot for TCM 2003.
Yeah. I mean, I think first of all, and let me just say that again, guys. If you haven't seen that episode, please do. And if you enjoyed it, feel free to watch it again. Just throw on the playlist and play it, because whatever, I don't know, the algorithm did not like that episode, which totally
Oh,
floored me.
that
It
sucks.
totally floored me because I thought for sure talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake would have been a very popular and well liked episode. But anyways,
Mm,
but in it I did talk about the comparisons of the two, and how certain things in the original this remake was able to broaden, which I thought was
yep.
really cool.
Mhm.
And of course there's some things that I felt as though it didn't do as well, and that's fair enough as well. So definitely check out that episode. But to me, I have a lot of fun with the remake. I think it's really well done, and it's one of the best examples of especially a legacy horror remake, because when you think about TCM, I think it's one of the legacy franchises. So JT and Jeff and Paul, all you guys, thank you so much for the super chats. We appreciate that. Let's do a quick clip. And Rachel, sometimes you might be asked certain questions and you don't know what to say to them. It might sound like this.
May I press you to a cucumber sandwich?
Thank you, no, nothing at all.
There we go. There we go. there we go. Just in case. Just in case. All right. So, and Paula says we can pick one. Paula. Okay. Well, I'll put in, I'll put in. Well, Rachel, what do you think? I'm thinking either we put in Nightmare 2 or Scream 5.
I was thinking Scream 5 because it doesn't get enough love, Scream 5. So I again, that's one that I've got quite a fondness for. So let's go
Yeah.
with Scream 5.
Okay, we got Scream 5 in there. Very, very cool. Okay, so I think it's my turn next because you
Yes.
did The Conjuring 2.
Mhm.
Okay, so the next, whether it's a remake, a reboot, or a sequel that I would like to throw in there, and and I think that again, when you think about movies and you think about all these different iterations of it, you can truly get lost. You can truly get lost, and I can't sit here and say, oh well, it's the fault of us viewers, because especially nowadays you can sometimes get inundated with films and you're like, oh my god, what is going on? But a sequel, and this is actually a very recent sequel that I thought was very interesting, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm glad that hopefully this might become, a franchise of sorts. And it started from a first film that I had no intention of watching, and it surprised the hell out of me. But this sequel I enjoyed, and I'm talking about Smile 2. Smile 2, which
Interesting.
have you seen Smile 2?
No, because I did not like the first one that much, but I've heard that the second one is better. So it's definitely on my to watch list. And I like the
Yeah.
lead actress who's in the second one a lot.
Yeah, man, she was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
the range, the emotional spectrum was crazy, and I thought that it was so well done. I really did. We had a blast on it. I've probably seen it like 5 times. I saw it
Awesome.
I saw it
Awesome.
twice in the theater, so it was, yeah, it was definitely a fun one. Okay, real quick, let's go back to you, Rachel. What would be the next one you want to throw on this list?
So I'm going to go with a sequel that we've discussed before briefly. And it's a sequel to a movie that I personally don't like that much, but is a very, very popular horror movie. But I personally think the sequel is better, has one of the sexiest villains of all time, and that is Doctor Sleep.
Oh, okay. Wow. Cool. I'm digging it.
Rose
Doctor
the Hat can
Sleep.
come for me any day. I will let her feed off my steam for eternity.
Wow.
So sexy.
Wow. Hey man, you said it. You said it. No, Doctor Sleep is a fantastic, truly legacy sequel. I mean, what are we
Yep.
talking? 40 years later?
Yep.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, you guys see the poster in the back. The Shining is one of my favorite films of all time. So even when I heard about this movie, being made and coming out and all that type of stuff, I was kind of like, oh man, please don't mess this up. And it's even more complicated than that, because you've got the whole idea of the book. Is this a straight adaptation of the book? And
Mhm.
you also have to cater to various audiences, fans of the Stephen King book, and also of Stephen King's book of The Shining, and of course
Mm.
the Kubrick film, which has become its own thing over these decades. So it was a crazy task. But Mike Flanagan, shout out to Mike Flanagan, guys. If you are not
Mhm.
familiar with Mike Flanagan, you are missing out. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
That's
Mhm.
all I got to say. And that's another, that could be a whole nother conversation, because I think, unfortunately, in whose fault is it? I don't know. Maybe we all have to take our own blame, but the horror community, man, like, there's a lot of stuff they're missing out on.
Mhm.
And Mike Flanagan, he's one of those directors, man. He's like slowly but surely crafted a filmography that I hate. Look, just gonna say it right now, and I've never said this live, but his filmography can rival those of James Wan, of Romero, Toby Hooper, and dare say even Carpenter. You know what I mean? Like his filmography toe to toe, it's impressive. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's damn good. That's all I'm saying. So you guys can take that to
Flanagan
think.
will become one of the greats. He'll become one of the ones that in 20, 30 years people will look back on and study, because I don't think I've seen a work of his that I didn't enjoy. And I think he has such a great way of weaving really intense emotional themes into these
Mm,
stories while still being scary as crap. Like The Haunting of Hill House was kind of
yeah,
equally heartbreaking and terrifying at the same time, and
yeah.
all of his films are so good, and obviously some of his films have this strength more than others, but, like,
Hmm.
his work, every time I hear that there's a new Flanagan project, I get so excited because
Yes,
he just hasn't let me down so far. He's so good.
yeah. And he's able to be good in a theatrical setting and also streaming.
Yes,
That's
yes.
challenging.
Mhm.
That's challenging when you have a story like Hill House or Midnight Mass or Bly Manor or what have you. I mean, you're talking about multiple episodes, a season worth of episodes, and to be able to be successful telling a story like that, as well as just a feature film, that's a lot of talent. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, real quick too in the chat. Look who's in the chat. We got Carrie in the house. What is up, Carrie? Good to see
Good
you.
to
Hope you're
see.
doing well. Very cool to have you here. Saying the TCM remake is by far one of the best remakes. I actually like it more than the original. I respect the original, but I prefer the remake. There you go.
I
That's what I was
understand
talking
that.
about.
I get that. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I totally understand it as well. As much as they have such similarity, there's a big difference between the two. A big, a big difference. So,
Mhm.
thank you so much, Carrie. Great to have you here. We got Jeff with a channel member anniversary. 15 months. I'm going for another 15 more. That's what I'm talking
Excellent.
about. Very cool, man. And thank you so much for all that you do, Jeff. Seriously, you help out this community in more ways than I'm sure everyone here can understand. But thank you so much. Seriously, very cool. Okay, so we had Doctor Sleep. Let me throw in my next idea, or I should say entry. uh, and this is another one that I think that you can sometimes get lost on because there's so much that goes into movies and what's coming out and all these types of things. Now, this was a remake, specifically a remake that I thought did a good job. It added some things that I think were necessary that the original film maybe wasn't able to, maybe because of budget, maybe because of time, or what have you. But I love the hell out of this film, and it is, I think, very underappreciated. To be honest with you, and that is My Bloody Valentine. I have a
Love.
blast with this film.
I
It
do
is.
too. It is so cheesy and
It is.
schlocky and so much fun. Jensen Ackles is basically just Dean from Supernatural in a horror film, which I
Yeah.
love, and it is just so great. It's got Kerr Smith is just such a hateable character. You know, you just want to
Yeah.
punch him in his stupid face, but it's so much fun. And I actually think, look, most of it's pretty cheesy, but I actually think the final confrontation
Yeah.
between, the actual bad guy has some really fun camera work. I think when you guys did a
Yeah.
live watch, you were talking about it, the flashes where you see him in like the miner's uniform as the
Yes.
lights go down. There's some really fun stuff. However, I
Hmm.
do find sometimes like you can really tell this movie was made for 3D. Like there are so
Yeah.
many shots where you're like, yeah, okay, this was definitely made with a 3D audience in mind. But no, I
Yeah.
I love the My Bloody Valentine remake. I think it is so much fun. So I love that you've thrown that on there. That's
Yeah,
great.
I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's underrated, and I think
Mhm.
that, like you said, it's some crafty stuff in it. There
Yep.
really, really is. No doubt about it. Okay, real quick, just to jump into the chat. Let's see. Carrie also saying I liked Smile 2 more than the first. I love Kyle Gallner, but it didn't do anything for me. Kind of wish we could have get more lore behind the entity, but that's just me. Yeah, I think that, and hopefully with the third film, which they are planning to do, they're going to do that. That would make sense to me. And I agree with Kyle. Kyle is amazing. And I've
He's
tried
always
to,
good.
yeah. I mean, he's literally a scream king. He really is, and I think
Hmm.
he should get a lot of credit for all of the projects he's been a part of for so many years now. Um, and I definitely wish that well, I won't give it away because some people haven't seen it, but I wish they would have done a few things different as well. But I'm assuming with the third film that they will. So we will see. We will see. And we got Jennifer in the house. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Awesome to have you here. Saying I really loved Smile, but could not get into Smile 2. Lead actress was an amazing actress, though. Okay,
Yeah,
so
me.
now the opposite way. That's interesting.
Mm.
Very cool. Very cool. I enjoyed both. I really did. And I think Sosie Bacon in the original, I thought that she showed a
He was
lot
very
of
good.
range.
Mm,
After I saw it, because I didn't plan on seeing it,
mm.
Coriander and I, we were actually trying to go see Terrifier 2, and it wasn't playing in our area, and we had the time slotted out schedule wise and so forth. And she was like, well, what can we see? And I said, well, let's see what's playing. And Smile was playing. And I was
Mm.
like, all right, let's go see that. The trailers, it looked okay, but it didn't look like anything super important to check out. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so we went to go see it, and we both loved it. We both loved it. And Sosie Bacon, after that performance, I was like, man, she needs to be in all the movies. I absolutely adore her. I really do. And I hope she does some other horror. I really do. Okay. Um, let's see who else. Who else? And JT saying Mike Flanagan should do a Psycho remake. He would be great. As a matter of fact,
He would.
when someone had said, the whole idea of doing a Psycho remake or reboot or whatever, Mike Flanagan was the first person that came into my head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He could do it. He could do it.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. And I should have known Carrie would have said this. She said, I'm gonna say it. House of Wax remake was really good. Jared Padalecki's death is just cringe in the best way. It was. It really was.
So X wasn't too bad. It was fun, like
Yeah.
it didn't take itself too seriously. It was
Right.
fun. It was an interesting concept. Although Chad Michael Murray, I just wanted to punch him in the face most of the time as well. But yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Drake coming in with another super chat. Thank you so much, Drake, saying a remake of Little Shop of Horrors. How does that sound to everyone? Jack Black could do the voice of the plant because it's a musical. That would be interesting.
Easy. That would be
Yeah,
awesome. It's
that
so funny.
would.
Knight knows this, but I went to the dentist earlier today, so I actually had every time I go to the dentist, I have "You'll be a dentist" in my head. It just gets Steve Martin punching poor Miriam Margolyes in the face.
Yes. Oh my God, that's
Oh
too
dear.
funny. Good point. Good point. Drake, thank you so much for that. And I agree. That would be fun. I'm always down to see Jack Black do something. I really
Yeah,
am. So
always.
yeah, heck yeah. All right. Let's see who else in here. I just want to just make sure we're caught up. Um, we got Jeff coming in again saying High Tension is very underrated movie, deserves a reboot or a remake. Ooh. Well, listen. I love High Tension, and it is so ooh, it is a very atmospheric movie. It's so well done, and it truly does have a lot of high tension. Um, I'd be up for it, a reboot or a remake. I'll tell you what, man, that would be a tall task to match the intensity of the original, but I'd be up for seeing what they could do. I really would. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you. Much appreciated. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at our list. We're going to do a few more. So, Rachel, let's have you throw another idea out there.
So the next one I'm going to throw in is actually from a franchise that I don't talk about that often. So I don't know if people know that I actually do enjoy this franchise. And it's what I think is actually one of the more underrated movies in this franchise. And when I first saw this movie, I remember thinking, this is such a different feel to what this franchise usually does. And it just works so well. And that
Mhm.
is Curse of Chucky from 2013, which I actually
Ooh.
thought was such a fun sequel because what I really loved about it is that it was almost like a southern gothic tale, the
Mhm.
family with the secrets in the house and the main character who, is disabled and can't get around and they come and take advantage of her from that. And I feel that a lot of that one, they really utilized not seeing Chucky, and they've got some really great scenes, like the scene with the soup, the poison soup, and you're just watching the whole family, and you're like, who is going to drop it is one of the tensest scenes I've ever seen. You just sit there going, stop eating, all of you. And I just thought that it was so much fun, and that I just really liked that they did something different. And then I don't want to spoil too much, but you get to the end of that movie, and a certain someone just pops up, and you're like, oh my god, and it all just kind of comes together. But no,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Curse of Chucky. I really liked what it did for the franchise. Of course, you had Fiona Dourif, who was like so good in the lead role, and of course that linked to Brad. And yeah, so I think that because when you think of Chucky sequels, you usually think of Chucky 2, or We All Love Bride of Chucky, and they get a
Yeah.
lot. I'm trying to think of like movies that don't get as much love, and I just think Curse of Chucky just kind of flew in under the radar, and
Yeah.
it tends to get overlooked. But I personally really, really liked it, so that's my next pick.
All right. Okay. My next pick, and we're only going to do a few more. So again, guys, if you want to throw one on the list, you can either click the link that we have for our chat feature, or you can send in a super chat and put one on the list. The next one that I want to put on the list, and this was another film that surprised the hell out of me. We went to go see it in the theater. I was definitely hopeful, but you never really know until you see the movie. And I thought to myself, it was almost like an experiment of sorts, right? Because I was just like, how the hell are they going to do this and actually make it good? I had no idea how they were going to do it. And then I'd say maybe, I don't know, maybe even 10 minutes into the film, maybe even sooner than that, I turned to Corey and I was like, okay, all right, they get it. They get it. And this was actually a huge surprise for me, but I'm not going to keep on teasing it. Let me just throw it on there. So my next idea or entry is The First Omen. The
And I
First
haven't seen
Omen.
that one yet, so it's good
Ooh.
then. Oh,
I did
interesting.
I did a video on it, and I talked about some films in 2024 that I really enjoyed. I think I even ranked them if I'm not mistaken, but it was a while ago. But I'm telling you, man, this movie, I thought they did a hell of a job. It was so atmospheric. It fit into the Omen franchise, which I could not believe. I'm like, how are they going
Mm.
to do this? They did some things that were fresh, but they also honored the original films, and especially that original film by the late great Richard Donner. And I was just like, home run. I'm like, home run. It was so cool. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys have
I
not
love
seen it,
it.
and I've talked about it a few times before, when I've talked about films or what have you, uh, especially, horror films of the year, or, a couple of the different lists and so forth. But yeah, it's definitely one that you guys should check out. I thought they did a hell of a job. Okay. Real quick too, in the chat, we got Jeff gifting another membership. Oh my God,
That's
man. Thank you
lovely.
so much. Wow. It looks like it went to Iconic. Oh, I love that. Iconic 84. Definitely show some love to Jeff. Jeff, thank you so much. Seriously, man. And yeah, Carrie, it was very super sweet. When you guys do those types of things, again, it's very generous, because it gives people a gift. I mean, obviously, not to sound cliche. And for some people, um, well, I hope they really appreciate it. But they also can get a chance to join us when we do exclusive streams or watch parties and all those types of things. And there've been a few people that got gifted memberships and they became long-term members. And that's so cool as well, So again, for you guys, show some love to everyone, Rachel included. You guys gifting memberships and trying to grow this community, which is very difficult to do. Let me just say that as well, guys. It's very difficult to do for 1,000 different reasons, but without it, I can't do what I do. I just can't. We would definitely have a channel where I'm just throwing out videos and that's all you'd ever see of me. But instead, we get the opportunity to hang out together. We get to have great friends like Rachel clear out time in their schedule to be here, have some fun, have some laughs, and hopefully, make each other's days a little bit brighter. So, thank you guys for all the support, because that's what keeps us going. It really does. Okay. And Mary, thank you very much. I agree. All the people that were gifted memberships, blessed to have them. This channel is a true family, and congrats to those who got gifted. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Carrie says, I need to catch the next watch party because I miss them. Yes, Carrie, absolutely. And we miss you as well. And actually, I'm planning our next watch party. I had a couple different things in mind. And it's funny because when we do watch parties, sometimes it comes together fast in a way because, obviously I love to have folks on the panel and stuff like that. And then it's a question of, okay, what are we going to watch? And it's also a question of what's available. You know what I'm saying?
True, very true.
Because you have to think about that. We have to think about, can everyone access the movie and hopefully access it for a decent price point if they don't already have it. So, Carrie, uh, definitely, if you'd like to reach out to me on Instagram, I'm trying to plan something hopefully within the next week. And usually, as you might remember, we try to do watch parties either on Thursday nights or Sunday evenings, Sunday nights. So, that's kind of usually when we do things, but not always. So if you'd like to, Carrie, reach out to me and we can get you on the panel and have some fun. We'd love to do that. We'd love to do it. Okay, Rachel, we're going to just do a couple more because right now this list is looking interesting, and we've got 15. So how about this, Rachel? How about if you give me one more entry? I might do one more. Maybe we'll take another super chat. This will be the last call, guys. But Rachel, what do you want to put on this list?
Have to put this one on the list. This is, as soon as I say, this is a movie we were just talking about the other week. Fantastic sequel. It is a sequel, people. It is not a reboot or a requel. It's a sequel. Knight already knows what I'm going to say. Candyman 2021.
All right. Very cool. Let me spell it right, though.
Fancy man.
That's right. All right. Very cool. And it is a sequel. It is. It is.
It is.
It is. Okay. Real quick, too, in the chat, I saw something pop up. Looks like it's JT. All right. Saying, Saw X, great story, traps, just a great film all around. It is, man. And thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate that. Seriously,
Oliver.
man. Helps us
Oh
out.
dear.
Now, JT, hold on, because we've got Saw X already on the list. So if you want to put another one on the list, let me know and we can do that. Okay. So I just want to make sure. Poor JT, like Saw X is already on the list. Oh man. Carrie saying I'm horrible at keeping up with notifications. That's my problem. I hear you, Carrie. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's tough. But that's also why I try to stream on a regular schedule. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I did not stream last night because life and work. But usually Monday and Tuesday nights I'm on, at least by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just to say, next week at this time, I'll be on again. So definitely, I try to do that to make it hopefully a little bit easier for you guys. And she's saying I could reach out. Okay, thank you. Very cool. I'm excited. Val also reminding people, anyone gifted a membership, if you want to renew their membership after the gift expires, go to the membership page and hit the renew the membership button. And we'd appreciate that, guys. It really helps us out so much. It really, really does. And I feel like, for those who are always so generous, and there's a lot of people, so I'm not going to name everyone, but obviously, Rachel, you help out so much with that, and Jeff, and many others. Seriously, it's a way to kind of pay it forward in a way, to help out the community, and for these folks that are very generous gifting memberships. It's such a cool thing. It really is. Okay. And Oliver is coming in with Jason X. Okay.
But why?
Wow. We got Jason on there one way or the other. Very cool, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and the suggestion. Awesome stuff. Let's see. And of course, Val, reminding folks, if you haven't subscribed to Rachel's channel, make sure you guys do that. As always, for folks that are on this panel, especially folks that are here quite often, like Rachel, please support them as well. There's a reason why we have Rachel here, as much as possible, as much as she can stand. That's because we really enjoy the conversation, the friendship, and we also enjoy what they do. So please help support Rachel as well. Thank you so much, Val, for putting that in the link in the chat. And we got DJ coming in for a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, DJ. Saying Stranger Things. Now, DJ, we and I love Stranger Things, but we have to
Me
keep
too,
this as
but
movies. We have to
yes.
keep this as movies. So let me know. Let me know if you want to change your idea. But thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Okay. And JT saying The Thing remake. I enjoyed it. Now, JT, I'm assuming, well, you're probably talking about the Carpenter film. Or are you talking about the 2011 The Thing? So let me know.
There was a newer one. I had completely forgotten that they remade it again.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
Check
Mm.
out and I'm not trying to plug, but I'm just saying I did a Why You Hate the Thing 2011. Check it out if you'd like. It
It
was
doesn't have
very
Kurt
interesting.
Russell?
It
I
it
mean, that
doesn't.
right there.
It
Right there
doesn't.
should be enough for, like, why you hate.
Well, it's complicated. It's complicated. Hell, I could talk
Oh,
about
okay.
that. I could talk all day about that alone. It's complicated. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Um, okay. All right. So I think, and we got Gore in the house. What's up, Gore? Good to see you, man. And he was saying he says, hey, y'all, I guess I was gifted a membership. All right. Well, hey, man, welcome back to the channel membership.
Mhm.
Much appreciated. It helps to support what we do. All right. So I think we've got a list here, and I think we're going to, if everyone is situated, which I think they are, we're going to go with it. So this is the list that we have, guys. Just various remakes, reboots, or sequels. We've got The Ring, Halloween 4, Carrie 2, Halloween 2018, Evil Dead 2013, The Wrong Turn remake, Saw X, The Conjuring 2, TCM 03, Scream 5, Smile 2, Doctor Sleep, My Bloody Valentine remake, Curse of Chucky, The First Omen, Candyman 2021, and Jason X. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to eliminate these one by one until there is one film standing. Okay, that's the idea. You guys in the chat, so I want to make sure I explain this. And Rachel, you've seen us do this before. So you guys in the chat, if you send in a super chat, you can save a film. We can save a film, okay? And you got to be kind of quick on the draw because usually it's it's like Fast and Furious in this thing.
Chaotic sometimes.
It can be, man, and I'm controlling 4 different screens, baby, so it's rough. But this should be fun. So, Rachel, out of these
Mhm.
films, what's the first film that should be eliminated from this list, in your opinion?
Jason X. Jason
Whoa.
X.
Okay.
Sorry, who saw this massive, like, dude with a hockey mask and machete and said, "Huh, you know what's a good idea? Let's take him into space and see what happens." Yeah? Oh, come on, man.
All right. Okay. All right. So, and this is actually where it gets kind of tough. I'm gonna be honest. It gets tough. So, for me, oh, I think the first film that should go, I think, is Wrong Turn. And let me just also be clear too, because I haven't seen it. And if I did, I definitely don't remember it. I might have seen bits and pieces of it, but I'm gonna go with the Wrong Turn remake. Because yeah, because so all right. So this is what
Okay
we're
with
gonna
that?
so this is
I
what we're
am
gonna
actually
do.
okay with that.
You are okay. All right.
I am. Look, I
But
don't love Jason X, but I also did not like the Wrong Turn remake. Apologies to whoever sent
oh,
it in, but
okay.
I didn't actually think it was that great. And then it has this kind of weird, kind of not twist, but this direction it goes in halfway through the movie that made me just go, uh-huh, no. So
Okay.
if you want that one to be the first one to go, I am happy for that.
Well, this is what we're gonna do. So we've got Jason X and we've got Wrong Turn that are up on the chopping block. So this is what we're gonna do, and I'll explain this first before you guys even do it. So when I say go, and I'm gonna go by my screen, which could be different than you guys's, okay? Because there's always a lag in the chat, but it's the simplest way to do it. and it's also the easiest way for me to keep track of everything while I control multiple screens. Okay. So when I say go, give me your answer. Okay. So here's the question. Between Wrong Turn and Jason X, which one should be eliminated first? Ready, go. And I'm going to look on my screen and see what comes up first. And hey to everyone that's joining us. I hope you enjoy
A
the
lot of people just
conversation.
arriving now.
Yeah. Troy says Jason X. Jason
Okay.
X. So Jason X is the one on the chopping block. And I'm going to give you guys just a couple of seconds. If anybody wants to save Jason X, this is your chance to do it by super chat. Is the only way you can do it. And you have to obviously say, save, whatever the film is. In this case, Jason X. So I'm going to give you guys just a couple of seconds to do that. And you can save it. And then we move on. Okay. JT said, "How to kill an icon? Take him to space." Yeah,
We saw that with Hellraiser
true.
too. I mean, they sent Pinhead to space, and it was like,
Which was
"Why?"
ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. What were we doing
It's like,
there?
bro, you had a whole dimension. Why are you
It's
going
not a
to
different
space?
dimension.
It's crazy.
Just go back and chill with all the other Cenobites, dude. Like this
That's
is
right. It was so
uh,
stupid. Okay, so
uh,
Jason X got saved. We got saved by Oliver, and we
Oliver.
got Jeff. Save my special boy. You guys know what's up. Okay, Wrong Turns on the chopping block. We're going to do this real quick. If anybody wants to save the Wrong Turn remake, now's the time to do it. And then we're going to be moving on. Yeah, it's like, and I told Kim Myers in person when we went to the Elm Street convention, reunion convention. And I told her, I said, you were the best thing in Hellraiser 4, but it was bad. And she laughed her ass off. She knew it was bad. Hellraiser in space.
Hellraiser in space.
Jeez.
I know.
Just say it. It irritates the shit out of me. All right. Wrong Turn is off the list. It is the first casualty. It is gone. And so I'm going to highlight it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to blacken it out. That's actually the way I'm going to do it. It's off. Okay. Rachel, what should be the next film that is eliminated?
Well, I don't want to be boring, so I'll leave Jason X alone for now. I'm going to go with Saw X because one, I haven't actually seen it, so it's not one that I can,
Ooh.
I can add up at. Two,
Right.
I personally don't love Saw as a franchise. I love Saw as the first movie, the individual movie, but after that, with all the death traps and the Gorn and everything, it's just not my franchise. So I'll say
Mhm.
Saw X. I'll nominate that for the shopping. Oliver's like, "Damn you, Rachel," because I keep picking his pick. Sorry, Oliver.
JT said the Wrong Turn remake literally took a wrong turn. It's
Yes,
so
it
true.
did.
All right. So for me, the next one that I think has to go, and I'm looking at all these, I would say people are going to be upset. I'm going to say Curse of Chucky.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm gonna go Curse of Chucky. And it's funny because I just did a video that I dropped earlier today. Hopefully you guys got the notification. Please watch it whenever you can. But I did I did a tier list of horror villains, and I had an interesting segue about Chucky. That's all I'm gonna say. So it
Okay,
is
I'll
what
have
it
to check that
is.
out then.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm going with Curse of Chucky. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. We got Curse of Chucky and we've got Saw X on the chopping block. When I say go, let us know which one should be eliminated first. Okay, so is it Curse of Chucky or Saw X? Ready and go. And DJ said Saw X. So Saw X
Okay.
is on the chopping block. I'm going to give you guys just a few seconds. If you'd like to save it, this is the time to do it because we are going to have to keep on keeping on. Ooh, wow. It was kind of back and forth. Oh, actually, there were a lot of people that were like, Chucky.
I
Wow.
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, guess what? It's Saw X.
X.
All right. We got a couple more seconds. JT said, "Oh my God, Saw X watch party." Yeah, maybe, we'll see. And
Oh,
Oliver saved it. Okay, so Chucky is gone. Chucky is gone. All right, here we go. Okay, Rachel, what is the next that should be eliminated?
Sorry, Oliver. I'm going back to Jason X.
Ooh, so we got
Yeah. We're gonna
we
go. We're
got
gonna put Jason X back up there.
okay. All right. Jason X.
Sorry,
Okay,
Oliver.
so for me, I think that the next film should be Carrie 2. I think it should be Carrie 2 because I just is and it wasn't horrible. All right. But I was just like, it is what it is. All right, so Carrie 2 and Jason X are on the chopping block. Which film should be eliminated next? Ready and go. Okay, I'm waiting to see who we got. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? Carrie 2.
Like it's
Carrie
Carrie
2.
too.
All
You
right,
know,
it's Carrie 2.
if Jason X ends up winning this thing,
Wouldn't that be crazy?
being I'm gonna end up like JT was when Freddy versus Jason ended up. Was it JT or Eric? One of them ended up really annoyed when Freddy versus Jason was so high. This
I
is gonna
know.
be that all over again.
I know. I know. All right. So if anybody is going to save Carrie 2, now's the time. We got a couple of seconds and then we are going to move on. Fast and Furious. It looks like it is going to be eliminated. Okay. All right. Next up, Rachel, what what should be eliminated next?
I feel like one of those streams where Paul Coriander is constantly saying the same movie over and over. That's gonna be
See?
me today. Jason X.
Jason X. All right. She's serious, man. She's like, never go to space. Never go to space. Okay.
Scary, man.
So,
Did you see what happened to Sandra Bullock? I mean, come on.
right? That was a great
Right?
movie.
It
Um,
was. Mhm.
now out of these films that are left, wow, this is actually tough. Oh my gosh. Now,
Mm.
let me just say this, guys, and until you have to be on a panel doing this live, it's a whole different animal. Okay. I'm going by my love for the film, rewatchability, and all of that, what I think of the film in general. And I got to admit, all these films left, I really enjoy all these films. I truly do. So this actually has become tough. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I can't believe I'm going to be saying this. I
No.
got to go. I got to say Jason X as well. Out of all of these that are left,
Hey, yes.
I'm just being honest, guy. And listen, there is, and I can say it because I'm proud enough to say it. There may not be a bigger Friday 13th fan than myself. At
Mhm.
least, at least in a huge vicinity of space, whatever that may be, whether it's a street corner, a state, or a coast. I don't know. But look, I love this franchise, and I've loved it since I was a little boy. But I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. All these other films, I think. And Jason X is good. He's the only one that can go to space. I'm just throwing it out there. So Jason X is on the chopping block.
No.
We'll give you guys a couple of seconds, and then then we're gonna move on. And Carrie says Rachel really wants Jason X terminated. I know. Oliver, I know
Blame.
Oliver.
Oh, poor Oliver.
He says
But
the
no, I kind of
greatest thing
blame
since sliced
Jason.
bread.
No, I think Jason X is to blame for the fact that I'm not a huge Jason fan because it was the first Friday the 13th film I saw. So it was not a
Ooh,
good first impression, you know?
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gore said it's not his fault that he got Ubered. There you go. Oh man.
Oh
All right.
dear.
It's going. It's going. I
Sorry,
know.
Oliver.
I
We still
know.
love
Eh,
you, Oliver.
we do. We do. It's gotta
I don't
go
know that
though.
Oliver loves me anymore, though. He's like, oh, that
Well, this
Rachel.
this is all for fun. It's all for fun. All
I
right.
know. I joke.
Now I know you're joking. So Rachel, what has to go next? What's the next thing that has to go?
I'm gonna fall back on Saw X again because I haven't seen it, so I can't
Okay.
really say yes, I want it to stay on the list. And again, like I said, not a huge fan of it as a franchise. So Saw X is my next pick.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, you haven't seen it, so but I think the next film that has to go out of these is
Mhm.
My Bloody Valentine.
Ah,
You know,
I understand that. I can kind of
yeah,
understand that pick. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I think it's underrated to be quite honest. But out of these, just based upon what's next, yeah, I gotta go with that. So we've got Saw X and we've got My Bloody Valentine on the chopping block. What's the film that has to be eliminated next? Ready and go. Let us know in the chat. And JT said Jason X was fun, but not great. It's true. And Oliver,
There
oh,
we
actually,
go.
Paula,
Oliver's saving his Saw
Oliver
X.
wanted to
Yeah.
make sure. Yeah. Let's see. My Bloody Valentine is on the chopping block. So if you want to save it, now is the time to do it. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds. And Carrie says Valentine is better than My Bloody Valentine. Cough, cough. It is. It is. I agree with that. Valentine.
Valentine is the slasher from.
Yeah.
Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, with David Boreanaz.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I actually really liked Valentine. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Again, cheesy, a little schlocky, didn't take itself too seriously. And there are some really fun kills in that one. Denise Richardson, in particular, like her
Yes.
kill is so much fun and so good. So yeah,
Yes.
Valentine is a fun one.
Agreed. Agreed. It is a fun one. Okay, so My Bloody Valentine is off the list. There we go. Okay, Rachel, what do we need to take off next?
I'm sorry again. Today I'm coriander, but Saw X.
Saw
Saw
X.
X. Yeah.
Okay, now out of these films that are left, ooh, this is challenge. Oh shit, what am I thinking? No, it's got to be. Well,
Mm,
yeah, this is tough.
mm-hmm.
But you know what? Again, there's never been any lying here. I'm gonna go with Scream 5.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna go with Scream
Understandable.
5. Again, it's not bad. I've talked ad nauseum about my thoughts about the film, some of the choices that they made, some people that got killed that maybe, it should have been flipped.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's the next one that has to go. That's the next one that has to go. Okay, so we've got Saw X and we've got Scream 5 on the chopping block. I know Gary knows what's going on. Which film needs to be eliminated next? Ready and go. I know. Oh, you guys trip me out. Let's see.
Here we
Pierre
go.
says Scream
Pierre and
5.
Oliver have spoken.
All right, so Scream 5 is on the chopping block. We'll give you guys a couple of seconds. If anybody would like to save Scream 5, just send in a super chat. We'll save it. Also, it helps to support the channel. We appreciate that as well. But we'll give you guys a couple of seconds. And JT was saying My Bloody Valentine should have had sequels. I know.
Yeah.
You know what? And again, I'm not gonna get too deep into it because I just made a video, just released it earlier today, where I talk about villains and I did talk about Harry Warden. And I go kind of deep into that, but I agree with you, JT. They should have done sequels. The franchise, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. They should have done sequels. Okay. And it looks like Scream is going to get
Scream
eliminated.
5 is gone.
What? Wow, guys. What
Oh,
is going
dear.
on? Where are we at? What channel are we on here?
I
Wow.
know. Well, we're not on
Ooh,
Craven's channel, because if we were there, then we'd be in big trouble for
well,
getting rid of this one so early.
I'm just saying, man. I mean, yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Next film that has to be eliminated, Rachel. What are we going with?
I'll give Oliver a little bit of a break, and I'll go with I'll nominate I'll go with The First Omen again, just because I haven't seen it. I just
Okay.
can't really say anything about it. So First Omen for me.
Okay. Out of what we have left, this is really tough. Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
He's gonna freak out.
Oh no.
Well, okay, hold on. Dang, this is tough. Okay, you know what? All right, I got another one. And it's because it's gosh, I don't even know if I can explain it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna go with Smile 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Smile 2. So interestingly enough, we have two of the newest films on this list that
Mm.
are against each other. So with Smile 2 and The First Omen, which film should be eliminated next? In the chat, write it and go. Gore saying after Scream 4, 5 was a letdown. Yeah, that's true.
See, I find the
I
other way around, and again, we don't want to get into a tangent, but I like was not that taken with Scream 4. Still enjoy it, but for me,
mhm.
Scream 5 was like return to form, and I was like, yes. So
Hmm.
it's just really interesting, how. And again, this is what I was talking about earlier when it comes to like sequels and reboots and whatever and remakes. The opinions tend to be more divided than the original films, and I just think that's
Right.
really cool and really interesting. Kind of shows you that everyone wants something different from a sequel, and
It's so true.
yeah, see the
It
different
is so true.
expectations met.
Yep, absolutely. And Val says The First Omen. So The First Omen is on the
Alrighty.
chopping block. It is so good though, guys. Seriously. If you haven't gotten a
I'll
chance to
definitely
see
have to
it,
put it on my to watch list then.
yeah. Yeah, it was so good, in my opinion. And I'm a huge fan of the franchise. So that's the other thing too. If you
Mm,
like the other films, you know what I'm saying? Because some people they're kind of divided on the Omen. I've always enjoyed those films since I was a kid. So
mm.
okay. First Omen is on the chopping block. If anybody wants to save it, now is the time to do it. Um, let's see. And we got we got Barb. She says I can actually hear her saying it. What I want to know is how is Halloween 4 beating out Scream 5? I call shenanigans.
I'm kind of with you, Bob, but
Wow. Wow. Hey, listen, all I gotta say is, man, look, it's an awesome movie, man. Danielle Harris and you know, Michael, some great moments. Loomis was great. Well, what can I
oh,
say?
Loomis at the end, so unhinged,
Yes. Yes.
so
So it
good.
is what it is. Okay. Um, so the first Omen is going. It is going. Wow. It is a good film, guys. It really is. So that is eliminated. Okay. Next up, Rachel, what should be the next to leave? This is crazy.
Sorry, Oliver, we're going back to Saw X.
All right, Saw X. I'm gonna
Mm.
go with Smile 2. I'm gonna go with Smile 2. And I really enjoyed it. I really did. But man, out of these ones that are left, it's like it's so crazy. Okay, so Smile 2 and Saw X are on the chopping block. Which one should be eliminated next? Ready and go. Pierre says Smile 2. Okay, so
Alrighty.
Smile 2 is on the chopping block. If anybody wants to save Smile 2, this is the time to do it. And we'll give you guys a couple of seconds. We'll give you guys a couple of seconds. Let's see. I love it. And Barb says, I literally turned the TV on with just enough time to see Scream 5 getting blacked out. I
Gut
know.
punch.
I'm so surprised it didn't get saved. I was literally flabbergasted, man. It's absolutely crazy. All right. But stick around, and we do have a fun thing near the end. So who knows? That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Okay. So gosh. All right. So we have Smile 2 is on the chopping block, right? And it looks as though it looks like it's going. It
I
is
think it's
going.
gone.
It is
Hmm.
gone. Okay. So Rachel, what is what's the next movie that has to be eliminated from this list? We have Candyman, Doctor Sleep, TCM, Conjuring 2, Saw X, Evil Dead, Halloween 2018, Halloween 4, and The Ring.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm still going with Saw X. It's the only one I haven't seen now, so it's gotta go.
All right. It's interesting too, man, because I've done stuff on the Saw franchise, and it always seems like that's just not as much of an enjoyed uh discussion or
Mm.
franchise. It's absolutely crazy. But tonight Saw X is hanging in there. It's been on
And
the
not
cliff
true.
multiple times. I just don't know what the people want. I just
I
don't
know.
know. It's crazy. All right. So you're going with Saw X. I think the
Mhm.
next film that should be eliminated is ooh, this is so tough. Oh man. All right, I'm just gonna throw it out because at this point I love all these films. I'm gonna go with oof. I'm gonna go with Evil Dead. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
Evil Dead. Okay, so Evil Dead and Saw X are on the chopping block. Which one should be eliminated next? Ready and go. Carrie said Saw X is getting bullied. It is. Mm.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm
god.
sure it can take it.
Yeah, yeah. Barb. Okay. Uh it looks like Saw X.
I think
Okay.
Pierre came through with it.
Okay, Saw X. Okay. All right. So
We did it.
these guys. Saw X is on the chopping block. We got a couple of seconds or it has to go. And these guys in the chat, they're tripping me out. I'm like reading multiple sentences at once.
Good.
It's
So
crazy.
good.
Okay. All right, that time has come. Saw X is going. It is
Oh, I
gone.
did it. Look at me
It
go.
is.
Sorry,
Look,
Oliver.
you finally got your wish. But these are all big movies. These are all big
They
movies,
are.
great movies.
Like, it's gonna get harder and harder for me from
And
here on out.
and that's the whole point. That's what makes it fun and super
Mhm.
challenging and crazy. Okay, what's the next one that has to be eliminated, Rachel?
Okay, I think I'll go with Evil Dead just because the Evil Dead franchise is not like 100% my thing. Like I thought it was good, and for what it was good, but it's not a movie that I return to a lot, and it's not a franchise I return to a lot. So we'll go with Evil Dead.
And I actually agree. I actually agree. Evil Dead should be the next one that leaves, in my opinion. Okay, Evil Dead's on the chopping block. We're gonna give you guys just a couple of seconds. If anybody wants to save it, now is the time. JT said Evil Dead goes. Yeah, yeah. And Gore was not a fan of Halloween 2018. Said it was not the return that it's made out to be. Ooh, ooh.
Strongly disagree with
I
that, but each to
I
their own.
Yeah, everybody has their own thing. I loved 2018, man. I still remember when I was in the theater with my brother and it started out at Smith's Grove and I was just like, "Oh my god." I just
Yep.
couldn't believe it. And I was just, oh
Mhm.
man, it was such a great experience. It really
I
was.
yeah, I saw it at the cinema too, and I remember just so many moments where I was practically just bouncing out of my seat because of what was happening on screen and
Right.
just how good James Duke Courtney was and just everything. For me, it was absolutely a return to form.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay, so it looks like Evil Dead is gone. Okay. We're getting down to the brass tacks here. All right, so let me just get to Evil Dead. It is gone. Okay, so Rachel, what is the next film that has to go?
Okay, I'm gonna beg your forgiveness in advance, but I gotta say Halloween 4.
No.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh.
I get it. I get it. Um, for me, okay, and this people are gonna if we were on stage, they might start throwing tomatoes. Okay, so listen, I love all these films. I really do. So now part of it is attachment, I guess, is part of it. I mean, I think that's always a part of decision making. Out of these films left, um, and this is really tough. It really is. But I'm actually gonna go. Oof. Blah.
I know
It's tough.
it's getting really tough.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Candyman. I'm gonna
Okay,
go.
that's just payback, isn't it, Knight?
I'm gonna. Well, Jesus,
Joking.
it seems like it, doesn't it? It's like
No.
you you know me. I'm thinking beyond it. I'm just looking at these movies, and the only reason I'm picking it is because I'm just getting back on board with it, and I'm happy to be back on board with it. But I've obviously not watched it a lot, and that might change. So in other words, if this stream was taking place a couple months from now, probably would be a little bit different because I've already seen Candyman 3 times in the last couple of weeks, which is more than I've ever seen it before then. So that says something. So Candyman and Halloween 4 are on the chopping block. Which film should be eliminated next? Ready and go. And Melissa says Candyman. Look at JT. JT put it in twice. Which wow. All right. So Candyman's on the chopping block, guys. If anybody wants to save Candyman, now's the time to do it. If you send in a super chat, you can save it. Okay. And by the way, for you guys, and we have a lot of folks just jumping in, if you have not hit the like button, please do. It helps to support us. We appreciate that. I'm not sure exactly where we are for likes, but hopefully we've got a good amount. But yeah, we'll give you guys a couple seconds, and then Candyman will also be eliminated. This is tough, man. This is really tough.
Mm-hmm. We are at
Okay.
40 likes, it looks like. So that's really good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. And again, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. Okay, Candyman is gone. Candyman is gone. Okay, Rachel, we've got The Ring, Halloween 4, Halloween 2018, The Conjuring 2, TCM 03, and Doctor Sleep left. What should go next?
Be nicer this time around. I'm thinking out of these ones, I think TCM. I do really like it, but I don't think it is up with the others. So I'm going to put TCM on the chopping block.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. This is
It's
this
so
is
tough.
it
is
is. This is man. Hey man, thank you so much. Letting us know we're at 41 likes, and Carrie too. Thank you. Thank you. Carrie, you beat me to the punch. She said, sorry, May, it's a habit. Some habits die hard. Okay. So you're going with TCM. God, man, this is so tough. This is so tough, guys. I'm almost afraid to even say this. Between what's left,
Mhm.
and again, this could change tonight if we did this again. This could change tonight, but I'm actually going to go with The Conjuring 2. And I actually feel bad saying that because
I get that. It is very hard choosing at the moment.
it is. It
really
is. But I know what I'm not going to pick. I do
Yes,
know
yes,
that.
we all know. Yes.
Do you know where you're at? So that's the question I always ask.
We know whose channel we're on.
There you go. There you go. Hey, if nothing else, you got to stay consistent,
Mhm.
So all right, guys. So we have got TCM 03 and The Conjuring 2 on the chopping block. Which of those should be eliminated next? Ready and go. This is funny. All right. What do we got? Conjuring 2. Pierre came in,
Okey-dokey.
Mark came in, Jeff came in. Wow, everybody's like, yeah. Okay, so Conjuring 2 is on the chopping block. If anybody would like to save it, this is the time to do it. If you send in a super chat, you can save The Conjuring 2. It also helps to support the channel. We appreciate that as well, of course. So let's give you guys a couple of seconds and see what happens. Interesting. Carrie had said Conjuring 2 because I could never say TCM 03. There you go. Very cool. Yeah, we're down to the nitty gritty here. This is crazy. Okay, guys. Wow. The Conjuring 2 is going. Who would have thought? Okay. What we have left, we've got 5 movies left, Rachel. Which should leave next?
I'm gonna throw Texas Chainsaw Massacre out again because I actually do think of the ones that are left that it's probably the one I've seen the least, and we'll go with TCM again.
I'm gonna go with TCM as well. And I've been very vocal about it. I think it's a great remake. It really is. And again, if you haven't seen my Why You Hate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, please check that out. It's on the Why You Hate playlist. I think I'm up to almost 35 episodes, which is absolutely
That's
crazy.
awesome. So good.
I can't believe it, man, because each episode is like it takes a piece of my life away from me because of the
Oh,
amount of
trust me, I
time.
know. Making videos for YouTube, like they look so like you watch something and you just think, oh yeah, this doesn't take that long to make. But when you're behind the scenes and you're
Yeah,
recording and you're editing and you're trying to make sure that all the stuff you put in isn't going to get demonetized because you just
yeah.
never know what's going to hit. I
You
get it.
never
I get
know.
it.
It's crazy. But definitely check out that episode. But yeah, I'm gonna go with TCM as well. So TCM is officially now on the chopping block. If anybody wants to save TCM, this is the time to do it. We'll give you guys a couple of seconds and then it will be gone. it will be gone. Okay. Barb saying, so we can't save it. Yes, you can save it.
Man,
You can. Did I say that you can't? No. Carrie says the
okay.
first Conjuring has my girl Lily Taylor in it. Yeah, she was great.
Mm.
Okay,
Let
so
Barb
it's
come
saved.
through. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Barb. We appreciate that. So TCM is saved. Okay. So let's go through another round here, Rachel. Out of these 5, what should be the next film eliminated?
I don't want to be redundant, and I know that Bob just saved it, but I still got to say TCM. It's just, yeah, I mean, I could say Halloween 4, but I'm thinking I'd go TCM over, like, get rid of TCM over Halloween 4. So sorry, Bob, but I'm throwing Texas Chainsaw Massacre back onto the chopping block.
Okay. This is so tough. Yeah, I gotta agree. We gotta go with TCM. It's gotta go. Out of these that are left,
Yes.
I'm gonna
It's
go
not
with
like
it.
we're at the start of the list and we're just, chucking it out right at the beginning.
Right. This is the end of it. Okay, so it's on the chopping block. Poor Carrie. She was like, yes, it's saved. It's on the chopping block, guys. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. But hey, you got a couple seconds. We'll see what happens. I know how it is, guys. I've been there before, especially on panels where we have multiple people voting, and I'm like, what? How can you vote for that? You
Some of
crazy?
these get so out of control. It is so
They
much fun. I
do.
love how chaotic they get, and just sometimes,
Yeah.
like, I always like, because it just almost always seems like poor Coriander gets stuck on like one, and every round she's
Yeah.
coming through, she's like, "Please get rid of this," and it's like, "Oh, you poor thing."
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll go a couple more seconds, guys. Again, if you want to save TCM, this will be the last opportunity as we start to wind down here. And it looks like it's going.
I
It's
think
going.
that's right. And again, of these ones that we've got left, like these are really pretty high quality sequels and
Yeah,
that we've got going here. So yeah.
it is. Okay, so we've got The Ring, we've got Halloween 4, Halloween 2018, and Doctor Sleep. Which is the next film that has to go, Rachel?
I'm sorry, Knight, but of these ones, it's gotta be Halloween 4 for me. I can't put it above these other ones. I just can't.
Yeah. All
Even
right.
Crazy Loomis can't save it.
Oh, man. Okay, so listen. Listen. This is tough, okay, but there's never been any lying here. I gotta go with The Ring. I gotta go with The Ring on this, and I love The Ring.
Fair enough.
But look, listen, guys, we're getting closer and closer to October. Okay, I'm just saying. So look, The Ring and Halloween 4 on the chopping block. Which one needs to be eliminated next? Ready and go. Let's see. What's gonna be?
We've got a
Pierre.
consensus.
Pierre came in with The Ring.
Yep.
Okay. So the
So
ring's
did
on
a
the
few others. Wow.
wow. Okay, so the ring's on the chopping block. This is the chance if you want to save it. And look, JT said, bro, H4 is not better than Saw X or TCM. Dude, come on. Hey, listen, every movie's been savable though. That's the thing, So this is a community effort. I'm only the host. Oh man. And oh man, hey, Barb had come in with a super chat. Oh, Barb, I'd already eliminated it. I'm sorry.
You Bob.
I'm so sorry. But thank you so much for the super chat. And I know there's a lag in the chat. And again, guys, like I said at the beginning, anytime we do these streams, I'm just trying to, make it as easy as possible for me. Because again, guys, and some of you that, obviously are content creators, you understand. I've got multiple screens open and I'm toggling back and forth to the chat, to the screen and so forth and so forth. So, okay. So where are we at? This is crazy.
Gone. Everyone was very vocal about that. So
Okay. The ring is gone.
down
We
the
had
well.
time. It's down the well. It took 7 days to do it, but it's gone. Okay.
Oh.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought we've got Halloween 4, Doctor Sleep, and 2018. Rachel, what's
It's got to be. I'm sorry. It's got to be Halloween 4. I cannot put Halloween 4 above 2018 or Doctor Sleep. It's just not going to
yeah,
happen.
yeah, that's true. But guess what? I'm gonna
Oh
go.
no, no.
And I love all these movies, man. I love all these movies. But I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have some fun with this.
Oh no.
Okay, hold on. Let me just, because sometimes you gotta have some fun. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with 2018. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
2018. We're gonna put this on the people. We're gonna put this on the people. Okay, so we've got Halloween 4. We've got 2018 on the chopping block. Which one needs to be eliminated next? Ready and go. We're putting this on the people.
Come on, people. Don't let me down. Think Brock came through with it. So
Halloween
did
4.
Val.
Halloween
Sorry,
4.
Knight.
Okay, so Halloween 4, no, it's still on the people. Like they should know the rules. So Halloween 4 is on the chopping block. Okay. So if anybody has a heart and wants to save Halloween 4, now's the time. Barb. Okay, now you're just being controversial. I know, but I just wanted to, I wanted to see what the people would say. If anybody wants to save Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers, this is the time to do it. If you send in the super chat, it will be saved. If you are a true Michael Myers fan, now's the time. No, Barb says I'm not saving 4. You asked to scream 5. I didn't do it.
Here for her revenge.
I know. The people, man, it's the people. I keep thinking of that scene in The Dark Knight Rises when Bane with the people of Gotham. You didn't save your hero. All right. Last call. There it is. Oliver. Oliver
Aw.
proved to the world what he's all about. Okay, so listen, guys. We're down to our last 3. We gotta hurry up with this and start to wind it down. Let's try this again. So, Rachel, what's the next film that has to go? What was that?
Budging from this one. Halloween 4. I'm not budging from this.
Halloween 4.
I cannot put it above either of these 2 other movies.
Okay, all right. So now I gotta be real. I'm gonna go with Doctor Sleep. Okay, and I love Doctor Sleep, but I'm just saying, man, come on. All right, so Doctor Sleep and Halloween 4 are on the chopping block. Which film should be eliminated next? Ready and go. Oh, you guys are too funny. Jeff says Doctor Sleep. Doctor Sleep. Okay, Doctor Sleep is on the chopping block. We'll give you guys just a couple of seconds to save it. If anybody wants to save it, this is the time to do it with a super chat. You can save Doctor Sleep. Okay, we'll give you guys a couple of seconds. This is crazy. Barb said, Rachel's like, look, dude, no. Oh, and Val said H4 is not in the file. That's right. Oh man, too funny. What? Oh, look at this. Look,
Halloween 4 win over Doctor Sleep, okay?
this is what I think of that, Rachel.
Fuck this cowboy shit! Expel them! Fucking ho dunk, po dunk, well then there, motherfuckers!
But it's bull, Rashid.
If you don't see me on Knight's channel anymore, it's because he banned me.
No,
for all the Halloween 4 hate.
I wouuld do that. Okay, so Doctor Sleep. Oh my God, Doctor Sleep is saved. What Troy had come in too. Yeah. Okay.
There we go, Troy. Yes.
Now wait a minute. Oliver says I undo Rachel's save. What?
Oliver's just making the rules up now.
Oh my god. Okay, that was great, guys. Say this seriously, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support, and it also makes these type of streams fun. And this is why we do them. This is what JT came in too. Okay, Doctor Sleep is saved. It is saved, guys. All right, so listen. This is what we're gonna do because we are right down to the wire with time. We've got 3 left. Okay, now Rachel, our last time through. Well, not our last time, but our next time through. Which film has to leave next? Halloween 4, 2018, or Doctor Sleep?
For the return of Michael Myers.
Okay. I'm going with Doctor Sleep. Okay. So this is what we're going to do, guys. When I say go, you guys will choose what goes next. Okay. So just get yourselves ready. And before I start, because I can read this, Barb says Night knows we all are competitive on here with these dang things too. It's fun. It is. You know what? I would love. This is the type of stream I'd love to be in the chat for and just be like working it, you know. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Seriously, that's why we do it. If you guys didn't enjoy it, and if there wasn't interaction, we definitely wouldn't do it. There's no doubt about it. But thank you. Okay, so out of Halloween 4 and Doctor Sleep, which one has to leave next? Ready and go. This is it.
Oh my god, we're down to the wire. Oh, Val.
What?
I think Val came through first.
What?
I win. Yes.
Val. Oh my god.
My general.
Dude, Val is like one of the
Love
biggest
Val.
Halloween fans I know. What is going on here?
Just wants to stir the pot.
Wow. Wowie. Halloween 4, The Return is gone. Okay. All
It
right.
put up a good fight.
Didn't it though? It did.
did.
Oliver, you were so close, man. I wanted to see this Michael versus Michael shit.
That would have been very interesting.
Right? Right? The
Yep.
setup was there.
Mhm.
Val saying, "I'm sorry, but Doctor Sleep is way better than H4." No, I definitely understand, and it is very, very good. And either way, you know, this is difficult. Okay, so Rachel, last round, what has to go? Is
And
it
this is so. Yeah, sorry.
No. I'm just saying, is it Doctor Sleep or is it Halloween 2018?
Okay.
And you were saying
So
this is so
This is so hard. I
right.
love both of these movies
Yeah, you
so,
do.
so much.
Be
Doctor
careful.
Sleep, I actually do think is technically the better film, but Michael Myers is my man. All right. And
There you
this
go.
movie, oh my God, it brought the franchise back to me. So as much as I hate to say it, out of these two, Doctor Sleep has to go. And that is my pick. What about you, Knight?
Okay. Now, I'm probably going to say something that is going to anger some folks. No, I'm just joking. I'm like, come on, guys. You know what I'm going with. Hey, look, I tried to have a straight face and I
Do
couldn't.
the April Fool's thing. Knight's like,
my
you guys
God.
know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
no, none of us believe it.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. There's no lying. There's never been any lying. Of course, I'm going to vote for Dr. Sleep to leave next. And I love it. And I'm really surprised it's gotten this much love tonight, because most times when I talk about it, I mean, yes, I know some people love it, as they should, but it seems like it's so underappreciated, you know. So who knows? Maybe I'll finally be able to make some content on it, because I think people will actually watch it. So, all right. So Dr. Sleep is on the chopping block now officially. If anybody wants to save Dr. Sleep and really make this interesting, now's the time to do it. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds. All you have to do is send in a super chat and Dr. Sleep can be saved. Whew, man, this was tough. Hey, Nightfall is
Fun.
what's up, bro? Good to see you,
Hey,
man.
Nightfall, always good to see you.
You will have to check out the replay on this, man. This has been
It's been fun.
yeah. And Gore's got a sad face. I know, man. Doctor Sleep is great. It is, but
Mm.
look, man,
I mean, this channel, we're Halloween
come on,
fans
guys.
almost above almost everything else.
Come
So
on. You gotta
yeah.
know. If you're not down with the Trinity, well, I should say, 4 films, but 4
Mhm.
franchises, then I don't know what to say to you, because if it's Elm Street, Friday 13th, Halloween, or Scream, I mean, you're in the wrong neighborhood if you're against it. Just saying it. All right. So a couple more seconds and we're gonna call it, guys. And that's true, Barb. Nostalgia can take over. It is so true. And JT said it's hard, but 2018 was not a better film. I can agree on a lot of levels. I mean, obviously, but of course, with at least when I pick, there's a couple different factors. It really is. Yeah. All right, guys.
Watchability comes into it a lot for me, and, like, I rewatch Halloween 2018 all the time, whereas I do rewatch Doctor Sleep, but not as much because it is very intense, it's a very
Yeah,
heavy film,
it
but yeah,
is.
I think on a technical level, Doctor Sleep is probably the better film, but I mean, Halloween 2018 is not a bad film, it's really well made,
I
and,
think so too.
the direction's really good, and some of the camera work is amazing. We've talked about it before, but that long shot through the neighborhood is, like, one of the best sequences in the films, and
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
think just
agree.
Doctor Sleep is just that little bit better on a technical level, but like I said, we love Michael in this house. We love the shape. So,
Yeah, man. And that means that Dr. Sleep is out
mhm,
and Michael Audrey Myers comes through in the pinch. We almost had a Michael versus Michael. Who would have known?
mhm.
But it's all good. This was a lot of fun, guys.
That
Seriously.
was
And
awesome, and that's
yeah,
a great result, but I was really surprised, like, I really thought that Oliver was going to help Jason X, like, I thought we were
I
gonna end up with, like,
know.
a Jason X versus Saw X battle, and it was gonna be, like, this whole showdown, so that was
Yes.
so much fun.
It was. It really, really was. And guys, like I always say, these types of streams are so much fun to do. And also, and it's what I always hope is that it can be interactive with you guys as much as possible, and that you guys can have fun with it. So thank you all so much. There's the list. We had a lot of great. This was a really cool list of films, a lot different than what we usually would have, which is what I was hoping. And it came to pass. So Rachel, thank you so much for some great picks, and also you guys that put some picks on this list as well. Maybe we'll have to do something like this again. This was fun. It was a
This was fun.
lot of different stuff, man. Like from
Mhm.
multiple periods of time in horror, and again, they were different, either reboots or sequels or legacy sequels or remakes. So I think this was really, really fun. Seriously. Very fun, very fun. Okay, so guys, as always, if you haven't hit the like button, please do that, and also let us know in the comments. What do you think? Was this a lot of fun? What films did you enjoy, and so forth? What are your thoughts on remakes, reboots, and sequels? Let's talk about it in the comments, as we always do. And also, if you haven't checked out my tier list of the horror villains, please check that out. I just dropped that earlier today. It was a lot of fun, and it's all on me. Usually, when we do these, I love having folks on the panel. What I dropped today is just me, and I thought it was a lot of fun to just kind of give you guys my thoughts specifically. So please check that out. It would help out the channel so much, especially with uploaded content. We appreciate that as well. And Carrie, I'm glad that this was fun. We had a lot of fun too. She says my movie geek heart is now satisfied. Well, that is a good thing as well. Thank you so much. And Val, thank you for putting Rachel's link in the chat again. And guys, make sure you're following Rachel. And Halloween 3 I've used separately. I
Me
understand that.
too, me too.
I
Mhm.
understand that. But thanks to all of you guys so much. This was a blast. And we will catch you guys next time. And as always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.